everybody, it's Off the Highway. I'm way off the highway. I'm in my front yard. And I'm Tony Grizz, and that's Sarah Thebarge, my lovely friend,
Hey
Sarah
everyone.
Thebarge. She is the author of a great memoir, The Invisible Girls. Sarah, here's my question for you. And you and I have talked about this some off bar sometimes, but what is one thing or what's the most difficult thing about being a talented and qualified woman trying to live in the American church?
Ooh. Oh, huh. Well, I'd say a few things. So I think it's difficult to be identified or to be categorized or to have opportunities available or not available to you based on your gender, because I don't think that that's something that men ever face. I think the other thing is that churches try to reach a middle ground, which I think is worse than either of the extremes. So it's worse than either like complementarianism or egalitarianism. And what I mean by that is we created women's ministry, and there's usually like one women's pastor. And that's like, to me, it's tokenism, and it's throwing a bone to women and saying you can have one pastor for half the congregation gets one pastor, and then the other half has like 5, 10 male pastors, right? And then also it creates women's ministry, but I don't want to be ministered to because I'm a woman. I mean, that happens to be part of who I am and part of who God made me, but spiritually there is no gender. And so to create ministries based on gender is bizarre to me. And then the last thing I'll say is that in women's ministry, I think that the whole like mom's group fertility thing, most of the ministries offered are for those women. And so for women who are single, for women who are infertile, for whatever other life circumstance there is, those women get shut out. And so it can be really, really lonely and isolating.
Sarah, thanks. Thanks for that thought. The middle ground idea is interesting to me. That may, in fact, be more difficult.
I personally think it is. And I think the other thing in terms of, I mean, this is the experience of a woman in the pews. I think in terms of the women in the front, my big issue is that when God wanted to reflect his image, he created male and female, which to me means that 50% of God's image is masculine and 50% is feminine. And if we shut women out, both in terms of the ministries that the church offers and in terms of speaking opportunities from the front, we're missing half the voice of God. Half the nature of God is gone. And for me, that's not only tragic for the women that get excluded, but it's tragic for the men as well, because they're missing out too.
All right, so in the best attempt to live the Jesus way, do you think both genders should have equal access to all positions of power within the church?
Absolutely.
Thanks, Sarah. Everybody, that's Sarah Thebarge. Thank you for being honest with us. Her book, The Invisible Girls, please go check it out. It is a lovely, lovely book.
Thanks, Tony.